respect the do-over. When developers or publishers had a perfectly good idea, but for whatever reason they couldn't pull it off, so they just go back and take a second swing. This dedication to making the best possible version of a solid idea is what turned the mediocre Sniper Elite into the good V2, and eventually the great Sniper Elite 4. What does that have to do with Mythseekers? Quite simply, this feels like an attempt by Artifex Mundi to take the core idea that animated Agent Walker, hand it to another studio, and see what they can do with it. Apparently what they were able to do with it was to make a far superior game. Now, the hidden object criteria. It's not too bad. The game puts players in the role of a historian working with a group of mythology-investigating spies, who is dispatched to investigate rumors that Mussolini is close to discovering Vulcan's Hammer, a mystical tool of incredible power. This journey takes the player into a number of crumbling tombs, ancient cities, and even alternate dimensions. Most of these locations are run down enough that the cluttered screens make perfect sense within their context. I'd say it's about 2/3. While there are a few 12:1 screens, I was delighted to find that most of Mythseeker's screens were completely integrated into the story. In addition to some well-drawn assembly screens, there are a few mini-puzzles that are delightfully executed. As players enter the screen, a counter comes up letting them know how many interactions stand between them and the item they're looking for. Interactions that can be anything from opening a drawer to sawing open a bag to putting a gem into a decorative relief. These are consistently my favorite type of hidden object screens, and the ones that appear in Mythseekers are top-notch. While the story is clearly better than Agent Walker's, just shifting the Axis power of Note to Italy is enough to intrigue players, it still has a little trouble getting started. The opening sets up an espionage adventure tale, with competing factions racing to find a mythical power item, Indiana Jones style. Things take a fairly major turn a third of the way into the game, however, sending the story off into a completely new direction, moving the action from the fairly realistic 1929 of the first two areas into far more fantastical realms. To say any more would be to reveal a pretty huge twist, and I think the game's worth playing, so I won't do that. But it's worth noting that the game isn't what the advertising material and first hour suggests that it is. It's not that the later parts of the story aren't interesting. Personally, I loved playing as a mythological detective, but it's definitely a surprising turn. It's a phoenix chick! A baby phoenix! There isn't one, so no. The Mythseekers, The Legacy of Vulcan, is a speedy and exciting adventure, even if the title does have at least one too many these in it. Over its 3 hours and 5 major locations, I was treated to gorgeous art, mid to low challenge puzzles, and a surprise-filled story. It's not the best I've seen from Sunward Games. That Dragon City in the last Secret Order game was fantastic. But it's a solid mythology-themed mystery that's even better than Endless Fables, their last game on the subject. If I'm looking for something to criticize, there are a few plot threads left dangling, which is a little unsatisfying, but the consistently excellent gameplay and great ending more than make up for any shortcomings. This review is based on a copy of the game provided by the publisher. If you'd like to watch the playthrough that led to this review, swing by the Hidden Object Guru YouTube channel. See you back here for the next review, but until then,